Let's get. All right, cool. So let's do roll call really quick. We got myself, we got Wani, we got Larry, we got Flav, we got Kurt, we got Dave, we got Linda and Ross. And cool. Um, so lots of news to talk about. Holy cow, what an earnings season. FOMC minutes to talk about. Jerome Powell and the QA ripping everyone a new asshole. So a lot to discuss. Lots of fun idiots of the week to consider. We got shenanigans from Harvard, and we'll look at that. I found some interesting educational stories from Wall Street Bets, and we'll look at some cycles there who are gambling their rent money and then some, and then some fools taking out personal loans to trade crypto. So we'll take a look at that and see what not to do. And then, of course, we'll do our market overview and see how the markets are performing today and look at the analytics as well. We'll look at sentiment data in just a second as well. And then we'll look at our fear and greed index, courtesy of CNN. And we'll look at our stock traders almanac and see how January shaped up and see how February is looking as well. And then, of course, we'll look at our favorite sector rotation on stock charts. And yeah, lots of earnings news, as I mentioned. We'll look at Boeing, Paramount, Google, Microsoft, Apple, and we'll take a look at how the rest of the Magnificent Seven are potentially shaping up. Cool. And of course, we'll look at swaggy stocks with what the kids are trading on Robinhood and whatnot. And then lots of items in our news cycle. I copy and pasted our Black Swan list from last week and added some updates, which include the trucker protest, spread out across France and the Netherlands and the U.S. convoy heading to the south of the border as well. So we'll take a closer look at that. And then I'm trying to track the theaters of war, and I might need some help to update this. But this is what I have so far. I know there's more to add, but uh, maybe we can update like sea lanes too. So we could say the Red Sea here. Um, but yeah, um, I guess we should ask Iran here too. But yeah, so yeah, we'll update our current theaters of war, and then yeah, and then of course FOMC minutes were huge, and we'll look at Jerome Powell's effects on the market, and we have lots of great charts to look at. Regional bank stocks are getting extra crispy again thanks to the lack of a rate cut. And as they need to roll over their long-term maturities, they are pretty screwed and caught in the tight squeeze. So we'll take a look at those stocks, especially the KRE family and what was it? New York Reserve Bancorp collapsed or started collapsing yesterday. So we'll take a closer look at that and more banking articles. And then we'll look at our emoji guide to investing and try to wonder where are we exactly. But yeah, if you guys are fans of Peter Schiff, his last podcast has some good quotables, and we'll take a look at the recent article summary. And I got some more charts on our addiction to cheap money from the Fed. And then as a trend overall, we're seeing ESG decline. So we'll take a look at some good charts. And then I saw this flare up in the podcast realm, but we'll take a closer look at both. Well, to me, I call them controlled opposition. But yeah, we'll take a close look at Russell Brand and Tucker Carlson and their dialogue from their recent interview. And then Rob would like this. He's not here at the moment yet, but let's see. Personality and temperament and your trading. We'll take a closer look at how that affects the output. Cool. And then I thought this was funny. Petco is down 90% in 3 years. And for those of us who were trading in the early 2000s, that doesn't include me though. You guys can remember like Webvan and other spin-offs that were total disasters. And are we repeating that? We could be. So we'll take a closer look on the charts as well. So yeah, shifting to domestic news. We talked a lot about Oakland the last couple of weeks, and it's really becoming the new Detroit. The Denny's in Oakland, it's been open for I think 54 years, has just closed, also citing safety and criminality concerns. So no surprises there, but we'll take a look at that. We'll look at manufacturing data for January, and we'll look at how that might impact things. I also got some more nice charts from the Fed here on this article. And then we'll shift to news on the coastal states in Oregon. So we'll take a look at the fentanyl crisis there. And Oregon's had a 3-year process of decriminalizing drug possessions, and it's been a total disaster there. It's not quite the same effect as in Portugal. And I just included a screenshot here, but Oregon also is getting very woke with GPA inflation. So um, yeah, I guess folks are being extra dumb there. And then on the happier side, Arizona is introducing a bill to require schools to teach about the harms of communism, which I think the death count is like 200 million for democide by communist nation states, but something like that. Cool. And then on the political side, Biden got caught for a lot of heat with his Elmo tweet. And if you guys haven't seen this, we'll take a closer look at that. And then we're seeing some measles outbreaks blow up all across the US. And this definitely has nothing to do with the wide open southern border. So we'll take a closer look. And this was more of a theme in 2022, but we're seeing food production plants mysteriously catch on fire yet again. So yeah, we'll take a closer look at this. And we haven't looked at food production in a while. So we'll look at like Tyson and its competitors. I know you guys are super keen on hip hop news, but yes, rapper Snoop Dogg has been a huge Trump hater for a long time and recently has changed his tunes. In fact, he has a music video where he shoots Trump in the ending seconds. It's kind of horrific, but he's kind of shifted his tone. But yeah, I thought this interesting. Um, and let's see, we're seeing more short seller activism, and we'll take a closer look at this in the pro education market. And then we've been tracking our Hertz car sales with their 20,000 unit unloading of Tesla EVs, and we have that. I think the screenshots are on the last week's document, and I'll add it back in here. But yeah, we'll take a closer look at their inventory numbers and see what that looks like. And then lots of real estate news. Let's see, we're seeing exposure go global with our commercial real estate crisis. And this is similar to '06 and '08, where a lot of Scandinavian countries were investing in our mortgage-backed securities and were imploding as that fell apart. So yeah, history is rhyming yet again. And then we'll talk about Airbnb and its latest updates in the California market, specifically in Palm Springs, which I didn't realize was a huge speculation market. Almost like half the rentals in Palm Springs are all Airbnbs, which is insane. But we'll take a closer look at that. And there's some American firms building company towns. And if you guys know like your Hawaiian plantation history, that is not usually a good thing. So we'll see if our resident Hawaiian chimes in a little later today. Cool. Lots of tech news, and I dumped a lot of like EV news in here, just because kind of overlap. But yeah, we'll look at the evolution of the FANG stocks. There's now the Mag 7, and then there's also a new category of the top 5 AI stocks. So interesting lingo, so we'll take a look at that. Um, our honest grifter Elon Musk got denied some money, and he is super pissed at Delaware. So we'll take a closer look. And we're very pro sex, drugs, and rock and roll here. So I found out that there was a first sex robot brothel in the UK that has also been subsequently shut down immediately. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. And then some dynamic Toyota news. There is a massive recall for, I believe, the like mid 2000s Corollas and Matrixes, and there is a problem with their airbags, and it will deploy metal shrapnel to your face apparently. And Toyota's asking owners to stop driving immediately and get that recall repaired. And on related news, kind of I think I changed the order a little bit, but yeah, we'll look at Toyota's stance on the EV market in general with their chairman, and then we also got some nice stats on the EV market, on U.S. sales, as well as U.S. catastrophes on the taxpayer electric bus side, and then we'll also some good stats here on other problems with the EV market in general. We've talked about that a lot, so we'll take a look at that related ecosystem. And then on a similar note, there's been interesting pushback from the agricultural department on the net zero agenda and related to banks specifically. So we'll take a look at that. And then I thought this was like a fun little comparison that came out between Apple and Microsoft. And then shifting to the job market, I found some interesting threads on Reddit about the recent push for return to office all across the tech sector. So we'll take a look at that sentiment, and we'll take a closer look at the current jobless claims as well. And to us, this is also no surprise, but we know that UPS announced their huge union win of raising contracts to about 180,000, I believe, and subsequently mass unemployment now and layoffs. So yeah, no surprises there. Thank you to the Teamsters Union for that. And pivoting to more layoff news, here's like the latest figures just from the last week or so in layoffs. And we'll take a look at the layoff aggregate data, but yeah, this is a fair chunk of folks. The iRobot merger did not go through, and we'll take a good look at the how the stock's been trading as well. It's been collapsing pretty quickly. So yeah, lots of fun news there, and lots of things popping off internationally. Um, let's see, we'll talk about Bali for a second. If you want to look at your expat plans here for relocation. And then separately here, Deutsche Bank talked about the Red Sea crisis. This is a premium article, but I just like the headline as at least. And then we'll look at we'll take a closer look at the latest for the farmers' protest in Brussels. And yes, they are literally shooting at guys in tractors now. Not very smart, but yeah. We'll look at our the Polestar, the flagship EV unit for Volvo, and look at how that's affecting the car manufacturer there. And then looking at more European news, we'll talk about asset attacks for a second, which is actually specifically unique to one very specific religious demographic. And this will be some shocking stats if you've never heard about this. Cool. And then we'll talk about the defense stocks for a little bit. We haven't looked at this quite recently, but lots of weapons news, and we'll look at all of the defense stocks as a whole and see what that looks like. And of course, the US, Uncle Sam is still the Lord of War when it comes to exporting weapons. And no doubt, Dick Cheney is very happy somewhere and lighting cigars with $100 bills. And warmonger Victoria Nuland is still justifying all of this neocon armament and whatnot, and she's still responsible for Gonzalo Lira's assassination, basically in under Ukraine occupation. But yeah, and speaking of corruption, we'll look at the global stats and see what that looks like, and as well as approval ratings for world leaders. Cool. And then I thought this was kind of fun. Lamborghini sales are all booked to out to 2026. So yeah, the rich are getting richer. So the Matthew principle at work. And then pivoting to oil and commodities news, the partnership between Russia and China is a little complicated with their gas pipeline. And having made in China stamped on your materials is a little bit dangerous. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. And then on the precious metal side, there are 3 states considering lifting the sales tax on precious metals, and we'll take a look at that as well as do a quick dive on what the California situation looks like in case you want to buy metals and what the sales tax workarounds are there. And then there was an interesting juxtaposition on zero hedge between diamond value and gold value. And I've chilled at like my favorite broker stores and just watch guys come in and try to sell diamonds. And if you've never had to resell diamonds before, it is horrific in terms of what resale value you get. Maybe 30% if you're lucky. Yeah, it's quite worthless, unfortunately. Cool. Lots of China news. We'll take a closer look at the $1 trillion injection from last week and how that's affected the Shanghai index. And we'll take a look at the Hong Kong market as well, which is also collapsing pretty quickly. We'll look at some nice charts on China real estate. Oh, here's the China, sorry, redundant article here. And we'll take a look at 10% to the big guy from China as well. And lots of Chinese headlines, almost too much to go through. We'll kind of highlight the key ones to look at. There's just too much news to talk about on China. But the main thing is we'll look at the cash injection and the stock market collapse. And we'll look at liquidation problems for the real estate sector there. All right, cool. So that's a highlight reel, and we have a massive 48-page report today. And let's check out the chat. Oh, thank you, Kurt, for the first in, first out rules. And oh, yes, Ross, we will take a look at semiconductors. Let me make a note. Take a look at semis. Okay, cool. And then let's see. Ross asks, does anyone know what percentage of US GDP is defense and war spending? That is a great question. Let's look at 2023 US GDP. Let's see.
It's a rule of thumb, 17%.
17? And
No,
that's
I'm just saying that there is a rule of thumb. And
oh,
and you wouldn't want to use this year. You want to use 2019.
oh,
We want a normal year, not today.
fair point, fair point. As a percent.
So then under 4, 3.
But these are massive numbers. And I remember reading that we spend more than the next some like 15 allies combined or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, our allies are getting a free ride. Come on.
oh,
What about
especially
China? That's not an ally. What percentage do they?
Exactly.
yeah. And we disproportionately pay for NATO's expenses, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And we give free money to a lot of people.
Yes. So defensive outlays in 2022 was 746 billion. So thank you, Victoria Newland, for that.
Well,
Cool.
that's the norm. This year, it's probably at least 50% higher.
Yeah, especially and then if you guys saw, there's 40 million that disappeared on the Ukraine side under their their Secretary of Defense. They're like, what ammunition? Yeah. So yeah, no surprises there. All right, cool. Let's go to the top. Let's kick off with our handy dandy poll. And I would love to know where you guys think the market will go by next Thursday. So let me launch the poll. Give you guys a second to do that. You should see it on your screen. The question's worded kind of badly. I need to fix that. But yes, basically, where do you think the S&P 500 will go by next Thursday? So bullish, sideways, or bearish? Cool. All right, let me share our results. Thank you, guys. All right, so on your screen, you should see this. So 50% say bullish, 33% say sideways, and 17% say bearish. Cool, awesome. And let me get a screenshot, and then we'll look at this towards the end of our session and see if our news changes anything. All right, cool. Thank you, guys. All right. Let's see. Kurt, do you know if the recording is uploaded for Mr. J Soloft in our library?
Yeah, it's there.
It's there? Okay, cool. I haven't seen it myself.
No, I'm not sure. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
No.
Let me see. Oh, it is here. Okay, cool. Uploaded today. Okay, perfect. So let me drop that link in the chat if you guys want to look it over. Cool. And I'll paste a screenshot as well so folks see this. All right, cool. Last meeting uploaded to the content library. All right, cool. And then idiot of the week is Harvard's chief diversity officer has plagiarized at least 40 times according to the complaint. Uh, yeah, so Miss Sherry Ann Charleston. Let's see if we can find her plagiarizing uh, self on LinkedIn. That would be interesting. What kind of pedigree was this? Oh, Sherry Charleston. Charleston. Wow, JD PhD. Oh my God. Uh, let's see. So yeah, she's been there for almost 4 years. Did a lot of affirmative action, blah, blah, blah. Where did she get her supposed PhD? In African American gender and citizenship studies. Okay. Uh, yeah. And what's her JD in? Uh, Federal
Labor.
law, just whatever. I don't know the University of Wisconsin. I don't think that's a tier one or tier two or even tier three law school, but sure. But yeah. Okay. Um, Hilarious. Okay. Spent 8 years to get a PhD for African American studies. Okay. Um, but yeah. Uh yeah. So much for Harvard. This is going to be I mean everyone's going to discount Harvard degrees from now on from now going forward. I mean they're shooting themselves in the foot. Okay, cool. All right. Another idiot of the week. I thought this was exciting. Um, let me paste that in the, oh, oops, sorry. There we go. Let me paste this in the chat. You guys will take a look. Okay, all right. So this moron is um they're gambling their rent money on February SoFi earnings calls and is wondering, am I about to be evicted?
Oh
So,
my God.
so yeah, so let's go to the charts first. I did I trade SoFi? I don't think so, for earnings. But yes, they had let's see, did they beat earnings? No. Let's take a closer look. It did gap up. Um, let's see if this guy is homeless or not. So it's trading at 7.7. Uh, let's see. Gambling $1,200. What's their strike price? 6.5 call. Okay. So is this person homeless? I guess what's the expiration? Let's see. Expires tomorrow. Okay, so not homeless, but I guess they're okay. 6.5 strike. Let's go to SoFi. 6.5 call. So somewhere here, one of these is the handful of contracts this person gambled on. Okay. Um, but yes, don't do that. Please don't gamble your rent money, guys. You can talk to, group therapy is available on Discord at any time, Uh, you can always call a friend. So yeah, please don't do this.
When you walk into a casino, they have the phone numbers to call if you have an issue, the gambling problems.
And
We need,
Gamble Anonymous.
yeah, there you go. We need that.
Ironically, I've read that those anti-gambling billboards actually encourage people to gamble more because, it puts the word gamble right up there. And ironically, who's paying for those billboards? It's the same casinos. So it's kind of a diabolical thing. And I've seen the same parallel with like smoking or anti-smoking billboards. It's the same problem.
Is it like a reverse psychology type of thinking?
Yeah, yeah,
Make people think differently, separate, opposite.
Yeah, it's the idea that and from a neuro-linguistic NLP perspective, the brain doesn't see the word not. That's why a lot of
Mm-hmm.
affirmations need to be stated in a positive sense. Like, don't say, I'm not going to eat sugar. You just say, like, I will eat clean today as an alternative.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with parenting.
Oh,
Don't use the word not, because when the kids hear not, they don't touch, they'll touch. Because they
right.
hear what the word they hear is touch.
And as I'm learning with my dog, it's all about positive reinforcement. So yeah, cool. And then Kurt is sharing a nice seasonal trading majiggy. Let me see. Let me get that open. Yeah, and then he has a, let's see, a trading group on Skype if anyone's interested. Yeah,
What
that's
is it?
let's see, seasonal trades. Oh, this is cool. Um,
Yeah, it's from a software
Seasonal.
program called Trade Miner, and it's got way too much information. I used to do this a few years back and restarted it.
What is it? Is it like a group, trading group? Trade
Yeah,
Miner?
we had Trade Miner come and give us a seminar years ago.
oh, I vaguely remember this. Jim Norton really likes this too. We've done a lot of back testing and stuff here.
There's another program that some of us have. It's called Financial, and it's so we're combining the results from Trade Miner as well as Financial, and plus Wealth Charts has a seasonal tool as well. So we're trying to get together and just figure out how to make actionable ideas on seasonal trading. And now with Jake Bernstein has his as well.
Is it financial with like chill at the end, CHILL?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I haven't heard of this. Okay.
What
Oh.
is Financial?
Oh, they presented at Wealth Charts, right?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, okay. I've seen those.
Oh, cool. Um,
So like on some of the earnings trades that we're doing, I also verify how well the charts are doing on a seasonal basis too, to help to see if there's a directional bias to take, or how much of a move if you wanted just to sell premium.
Mhm.
Anyway, just kind of an aside. I just
that's cool. Is there an invite for the Skype group, or do folks have to be added individually?
I can add you individually. I don't know how many folks have Skype. I'll dig it up and see if I can get an invite going.
Okay, cool.
But there's like how
People
many?
still
About
people
6
use
people.
Skype. People still use Skype.
Yeah, it's free.
It seems like an old technology.
It's still
it's
really
where we-
handy.
Yeah,
It's-
it's where we are at. So
I don't know what old has to do with it. I'm using a 30-year-old Mac Duo. It still works.
Skype. Do you have to download Skype? How do you use Skype? Never use it.
Yeah, it's shared with your Microsoft Live ID, if you use that. But yeah, I mean, Skype is still really popular, especially like in the Philippines. Like with all my virtual assistant teams, it was Skype predominant. But yeah.
Skype is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I thought like Zoom, people would use Zoom more
well,
these days.
Skype actually goes past the China firewall.
Oh, okay.
There's certain reasons why actually it's kind of cool. It's
Mhm.
it's the business default. We're just a bunch of kids when it comes down to how do you communicate.
I haven't used it in a while, but yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Warren, I
Yeah.
want to mention there's a really good website. It's the Market Structure Age, and I'm trying to get his name is Tim Wast. He has a great service where I'm trying to get him to come and speak at the SVOG, or if one of you guys want to get in touch with him. He has a really great software, Market Structure Age, EDGE,
Right.
Age, Market Structure Age.
And did Dave share this the other day? I think it was in Discord, right?
He might have, I'm not sure. It's a really interesting way. I mean, basically the supply and demand, how he looks at.
What's the gentleman's name again?
His name is Tim Quast. Quast, I believe. Quast.
Tim Quast. Oh, okay. Tim Quast.
Yeah, he's so smart. He knows so much.
I
So
wonder
good.
if he took
Super
on.
good.
Let's take a
He
look.
should be a speaker for
Oh,
us.
is he? All right. Let's take a look at his stuff. Tim Quast.
He have some demo when he introduces his software.
Okay. Let me take a look and add this to my homework. And
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, Ani.
So just as an FYI, I'm typing this into the chat as well, but we also have a chat channel, if you will, our Skype channel for those who are getting used to wealth charts. Because, and you know, so if you want to ask questions and figure that one out, you can go ahead and do that.
Sweet.
There's
Thank you.
about 4 of us like it into that. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Cool. All right. I will check out Tim Quast. Thank you, Ani.
Mhm.
And let me subscribe to his channel just in case. Okay. Let me share the channel too if you guys would like to follow along. Cool. So that's Market Structure Edge. Okay. And okay, cool. Back to Idiot of the Week briefly. All right, this guy. I didn't realize his screen name was a little crazy. Vaginosis psychosis. Like that screams stability, right? Okay. All right. So this guy took out 94,000 in personal loans to buy crypto over a 19-month process. It's nice that he's trading in a favorable market, but holy shit. Do not bankrupt yourself to trade. That's insane. Wow. So let's see. First loan was June 22, unsecured personal loan. So what's the interest rate for that? North of 10% easily, at least. And then second loan of 20,000. And then did a bunch of balance transfers on credit cards. Did it again at 35,000, bought 1.35 Bitcoin for an average cost basis of 26.5K. Then
He's
got,
making money.
yeah, got 4 Bitcoin, paying off his interest only components for 800 a month. Fast forward, blah, blah, blah. It's carrying 56,000 in debt, 21,000 from unsecured personal loan, 35,000 from the credit cards. So took out 94,000 in total, paid off 5K in interest. And basically has an unrealized profit of $61,000.
Profit or loss? Loss, right? Loss?
A gain overall.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I like while this is a success story technically, uh this could have gone the other way and this guy would have been buried in debt at a very high interest rate. This is like a little
Stupid.
a little crazy. So yeah, so a bit scary. So please don't do this. Uh
Nope.
do not take out loans to invest. Like that is the inverse wealth formula. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's all right. Idiot of the week. Let's go to our index overview and load up our charts. Cool. And let's see. And yet people take out debt for college. Hopefully you're not studying PhD programs for African American studies, because then you have no choice to
Or
go.
gender study.
Yeah. Oh, and Kurt has posted the wealth charts link if you guys want to grab that too. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So market is rebounding fairly nicely off of yesterday's rip your face off moment. Let's see. We're still seeing decent inflows on ES here, and we're up about 0.75%. Let's go to the analytics and see how that's looking. All right, swab. All right, 2.465. That is a lot higher by one full integer than normal. So fair value is typically 1.4 for the last 3 years. And again, the sizzle index numbers are completely broken. We've always seen these numbers in the low hundreds of thousands. And for this to say we're trading at 10 or 9x the 5-day average of volume is still insane. So Swab, I don't know what you're doing. But yes, we're seeing a lot more fear right now. Deltas are a little bit aggressive in the Hail Mary category of 0 to 20. And let's scale down the fire pole to see how the XPX big boy option contracts are trading. And this is slightly higher than ES, it looks like. I wonder if how you like might be a nice little arbitrage between ES and SPX. But yes, let's see. It is remarkably more optimistic here at 1.3 basically. So the second tier of smart money is a little bit more optimistic here. And again, the sizzle index numbers are also broken like crazy here. We've seen the same amount of numbers and contracts, and this makes no sense. So what is happening with Swab? All right, let's go to SPY. This is the I guess poor boy contracts for trading the S&P 500. And excuse you, we're seeing a 1.238, a little bit more optimism here on the retail side. The numbers here look more sane, and I think the sizzle index numbers are correct here. And yeah, but we're not seeing a high clumping in the 0 to 20 delta at all. So more optimism, I guess. All right, and let's go to the NASDAQ and see how the Qs are performing, our tech-heavy Qs, and we'll take a look at the sector overall with XLK during our sector rotation bit in just a moment. Okay. All right, cool. So NASDAQ, let's see, we're seeing a lot more optimism here at 1.07. This also typically lives at the 1.4, 1.5 range. And yeah, and then this will make more sense once we look at the Stock Traders Almanac in just a second. But yeah, let's look at the Russell 2000. I vaguely remember January has a nice uptick for this, I believe, but I don't know if that's continued. But yeah, we'll take a look at the charts for that in just a bit. It's at 1.3 roughly for today. And this is usually the more schizophrenic of the indexes, and is that usually like 2.3. So this is some notable optimism here. And if this is all lining up correctly, the diamonds representing the Dow Jones ETF should also be very optimistic. And it's not. That's a little bit odd. This is usually the kid that likes to eat glue in the corner. And this is 2.1. So again, it's a very thinly traded market, but we're seeing some slight divergence. And that's okay. And let's take a look at the VIX, which is not the fear index, but just measuring inverse volatility for the SPX. But yeah, it's at a very high 14.05. And relatively speaking, we've been at the 13 realm for a long time. And let's go back to VIX. Okay, yeah. So yeah, still very much asleep, and big fat doji for 14, but yeah. I would guess more volatility to come. So yeah, cool. Let's jump back to our notes. If we look at the index, let's look at sentiment data from the gosh, this acronym, the American Association of Individual Investors. All right, cool. So let's see. As of yesterday, a lot more bullishness, about a 10% pickup or jump, and a reduction of the neutral category. So less Switzerland, more bullishness. Okay, interesting there. And let's see, let's go to our fear and greed index. And we just want to look at market breadth for the most part. And let's see what this number is. I believe it was 72 last Thursday. And we've lost a couple points in the aggregate score, but that's okay. We'll skip most of this. We just like the McKellen volume summation index here, which is market breadth. And let's see, we're still in mid values here, still greed, but slipping here. Okay. And to recap on stock price breadth, this is the measure of the number of shares rising compared to number of shares falling. So almost like a median value, sort of. All right, cool. And let's see, call ratios are still really low. Okay, so the knife isn't quite falling yet. Okay, no surprises there. Okay, cool. Let's look at the almanac. So we have our January readout, and we'll see if this has played out nicely. So January's barometer predicts a year's course to a 0.7543, to a 0.743 batting average. 14 of the last 17 post-presidential election years follow January's direction. Every down January in the S&P since 1950, without exception, preceded a new or extended bear market, a flat market, or a 10% correction. And January's first 5 days preceded full year gains 82.2% of the time. All right, so let's just look at our SPY stats and check out those numbers once again. Or actually, we could just load stock charts and we'll see a nice overlay. Actually, that's zoomable. Okay, let's just look at 1 month. Okay, so we started roughly at let's see, 472, and we ended for 484. So that's been good. But the first 5 days trend was a disaster. It was quite the bloody first week. So on the almanac, let's see. So yes, S&P gains for January's first 5 days preceded full year gains 82.2% of the time. So we're in that, I guess, 17% of the other side. But January as a whole was technically up. Okay, so slight dual-pronged readout here from January's almanac. Okay, let's take a look at February's. All right, I grabbed a screenshot here. I think this is an off year. I think this is the 2019 or 18 edition. But yeah, we'll do our best to read this. February is the weak link in the best 6 months. Recent record, S&P up 10, down 5, average change of 0.6 in the last 15 years. Fourth best NASDAQ month in midterm election years. Average gain 1% up. Up 6, down 5. Number 6 for the Dow, up 12, down 5. And number 5 for the S&P, up 10, down 7. Day before President's Day weekend, S&P down 17 of 26 and 11 straight 92 to 02. Day after 7 of last 8. Many technicians modify market predictions based on January's market. Okay, so quite the mixed bag here. And when is President's Day again? 2020.
19.
19th? Okay. All right. And other notable holidays would include the Lunar New Year. So let's 2024 Lunar New Year. This is a 5-day shutdown for the Asian markets, and that starts on the 10th to the 15th. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Questions, comments on Omnac? And Ross has a question on recommendations for tracking unusual options volume on a daily basis. Unusual options volume.
Market Chameleon is good.
That's what
Market Chameleon.
Yeah. There we go. Unusual options volume. Okay, so got a
How
couple.
about unusual whales?
Unusual whales.
They also post on Twitter sometimes.
Oh, cool. Let me drop this here for Ross. Great question, Ross. Here's unusual whales. Thanks for this mention. Let's see if their Twitter is active. Let's see. Unusual tech, unusual hippies. That's probably not safe for work. We're not going to click that. Where's the whales?
We'll put whales.
Yeah.
You didn't search whales.
Oh, I didn't put whales. Okay.
Unusual Twitter is not a safe thing.
Don't do that. And do not search the word Asian and click images. Do not do that.
This guy has 1.6 million followers.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
You can follow any politician's portfolio. Oh, wow. This,
Yeah,
here,
they post interesting stuff.
there we go. And Pelosi, technician of the year. All right. Here's a Twitter feed. You guys want to check this out? This should be fun. All right, cool.
Does he also trade a lot of crypto, right? This guy, Unusual Whales?
That's our, yeah,
Or
that looks kind of familiar. Yeah, I think he did.
yeah, is it mostly crypto or no?
No, they do stocks.
Stocks too?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of other ones here. Yeah, okay. But yeah, very high overlap on the Venn diagram here. Okay, cool. Awesome. And, oh, yeah, sector rotation. All right, cool. All right, so here's the 11 subsectors that make up the S&P 500 family. And we're on a 5-week tail here, and each chunk is a week. And here we have our 4 quadrants. So yes, looks like XLE, which is energy and oil, is still the #1 loser. Utility stocks not doing well. Building materials not doing well. Consumer discretionary not doing well. Tech losing some steam here. We'll talk about the Magnificent Seven that carry this. The real estate sector is slowing down as well. Domestic financials here with XLF having some problems, especially with the non-rate cut. Here's communication stocks, a lot of 5G stuff here. Consumer staples with XLP here, just spinning circles. But yeah, here's healthcare, XLV. Typically, this has some seasonality with January high enrollments, but since it's basically big time layoff season, that's not having a good time. And let's look at the table view. So yeah, we've had a lot of week over week change here with real estate. Okay. And here is the communication stocks slightly having an uptick. Okay. All right, cool. Let's pivot to individual tickers. And if you guys have anything specific, we can definitely add that. Let's see what's missing here. Let's add the miners we were looking at before. Okay. Okay. Yeah, if you guys have any tickers, you can drop it in the chat or just shout it out. Let's see. Here's MicroStrategies. Natural gas, the #1 loser in Widowmaker still. Here's Gush, the 2Xer. Palantir, USO, CWeb, a lot of Chinese stocks here. Neil, hey, right here. I got some nice cheap shorts there. Tesla in the losing quadrant here. KWeb, some mining stocks are not doing well. GM improving here. Upstart. Where's Affirm? Let's add in Affirm. We got to take a look at our buy now, pay later stocks. So here's Upstart. Oh, Affirm leading the pack. Okay. And where's that on the table view? Affirm. Okay. All right. And what is this right here? Can't see. Yeah. Any other tickers you guys want to add here? No? Okay. If you guys think of anything, we can always jump back here. Let's see. Let's add Apple. Do I not have Apple here? They're hitting all kinds of hiccups. Where is Apple? I don't know. Can't see. Oh, I misspelled Apple. Think differently. All right, Apple. Where's Apple? Still can't see it. All right, it's somewhere here then. All right, where is it on the table? Okay, it's slightly, yeah, ticking down. All right, roller coaster down. Okay.
Earnings after close today.
Yeah, yeah. And then this is slightly stale data, so it was a little bit behind. But I think Palantir, here you go, Ross. Right here, Palantir. From weakening to lagging. And where is it relatively yeah, not having a great time. Trading below its a lot of moving averages here. And Dave, do you need the screenshot here? I can hold it here for a second if you need. NVIDIA and AMD leading the wave. Semis we'll take a look at later. And on the bottom, Neil, Riot, Tesla, C-Web. Yeah, lots of losers here. Okay. And gold stock's not having a good time either. Cool. But yeah, if you guys want to add other individual tickers, we can revisit this in just a bit. All right, cool. Lots of earnings news. Let's look at our first article. Boeing. So Boeing had a nice uptick. Let's go to the charts really quick. They had definitely had to give much more conservative numbers. And will this newfound optimism last? Hard to say. So on a potential 72 pennies estimate on the loss, they only lost 42. I'm sorry, 47 looks like. And there's still lots of net buying, about 100 million shares net buying per day. So I guess you could call it recovery. And it's just playing whack-a-mole with its 200-day moving average here. And will it break? That's a 214 looks like for the 200-day moving average. So it's making its way there. Let's look at the analytics. And why are my charts different? Here, I'll change it to 8. Here we go. Okay, let's see if the betting public agrees. I'd say this is still fairly bearish. 0.716. People are still not sure what to do with Boeing. Okay, can't fix diversity problems that quickly. All right, cool. Let's go to our report here. Let me drop this in the chat as well. All right, Boeing. So their major divisions, we got commercial airplanes revenue. Defense is number 2 at 6.75 billion. Global services at 4.85. Let's see. Nothing really important here. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's it. Short and sweet. Okay, next article. Paramount, seeing some consolidation in this sector. I don't know who this media mogul is. Byron Allen? Never heard of him. Let's see who this guy is. Television producer. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Stand-up comedy? What? Really? Okay. Comedian turned media executive. That's interesting. From Detroit. I've never heard of this guy. Okay. He has a lot of money quickly. Very interesting. Okay. But sure. Okay, but anyway, yes, his bid to buy Paramount. What is Paramount Global? I have another ticker. I don't think I've traded them. Paramount stock.
PARA, I think.
Para? Okay. Let's go to the charts. Para. It's going. It's sideways, very sideways. Not having a good time. When did Paramount sell Great America? Was it a decade or two ago? And then because they sold the rights, they had to change the names to all the rides. Like Top Gun's not called Top Gun. It's called whatever it is now. But let's see, earnings coming up in 4 weeks. And they just issued a dividend. Are they making money? No, they're losing money like crazy. But people are buying the dip, I guess. Okay. They had a nice gap up, not being sustained, playing whack-a-mole with the 200-day moving average as well. It was briefly underwater in terms of net buying and net selling, but has raised its head above the water briefly. Okay. So that's Paramount. I don't think most of us care, but yeah, okay. There's that earnings. Okay, let's go to something that we do care about. All right, Google. Google tumbles after ad revenue and operating income miss. All right. So let's see. Google was the lowest of the mega cap group of the Magnificent Seven. Let's see the individual clusters here. So let's see. Google advertising revenues missed by 0.3 billion. So what's that? $300 million. Google search revenue is also down by 0.13 billion. So that's 130 million. YouTube ad revenues were up. And if you guys are on YouTube as much as me, holy cow, they're doing, I mean, these double video ads are crazy. Google Services, Google Cloud. Okay, and what's Other Bets? What is Other Bets revenue? What the hell is this?
It would be like Waymo.
Alphabet Other Bets.
Hey, Warren, if you use Brave, how do you see ads on YouTube?
I still get ads, yeah.
On Brave?
The ad blocker is not as successful as you would think. Yeah. Um, and then on my phone, I have to use a
Oh,
YouTube app.
on the phone, I use Brave as well, not the YouTube app, and I have no ads. So
Oh, I have like, I mean, I guess being a DJ, I have like so many playlists, so I save like important videos. So I kind of need access to like the YouTube playlist.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I need to change that workflow maybe, or buy YouTube Premium internationally. A lot of my friends have done that.
Oh, it's cheaper?
It's significantly cheaper. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Using a VPN to buy it or what?
Just on the purchase moment. So I believe India is the cheapest one. So YouTube Premium India.
So do you VPN into India to
You don't
see
have
it?
to. Just the first time you buy it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, then it marks you're a premium member, and then wherever you use it after that is not a problem.
And do you pay with US dollars?
Well, I haven't done this like my friends have, so yeah, let's see. I think I have to change a VPN to not get this price, but yeah. I believe
Did you see that second link, that NordVPN to get YouTube Premium cheaper?
exactly. So same idea, yeah.
So they're VPNing into a different country.
Yeah. What are it? Let's see.
120. Oh, okay,
What's the yeah, I'll paste this here.
cool.
Mhm.
That's a good tip.
But how do you pay? Do you pay with like US dollars?
Yeah, I mean your credit card will figure that out.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully use a credit card that doesn't have a foreign transaction fee. I think I haven't traveled internationally in a little bit, but I used to use oh, I guess they're gone. It was a debit card that had no transaction fee. Debit card, no foreign transaction fee. Oh, and this is sponsored. This is not what I want. Wallet Hub. Here we go. Best debit cards with no foreign transaction fees. I don't see the carrier I used to work with, or is it Chime? I don't know, but yeah, you can just Google, find whatever's like no
It's a
transaction.
small amount, doesn't matter for this.
Yeah, it's pennies. Yeah,
It's not thousands.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is this Other Bets segment? I've never heard of this. Other Bets.
Well, it used to be like Loon. It's like Waymo. Nest was in there at one point in time. It's just
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's an interesting way that would call it. Oh, here we go. Okay. Calico, Access Nest, Verily, Waymo, GV. Okay. Other bets. Okay. Interesting. Cool. Let me drop this in the chat. You guys would like to look at that more? All right, cool. Other bets revenue, it's growing. Okay. Yeah, I mean, cool. Let's see. Anything else from Alphabet? Not really. Okay. All right. Next, Magnificent Seven bad boy. Microsoft kind of went nowhere. Let's check out the. Oh, sorry, we didn't look at Google. And did most of you guys trade Google or Google L? I forgot what I traded. The A shares seem to have a little bit better liquidity.
Regular Google.
I
Regular.
did L, but
GOOGL, right? GOOGL.
Yeah, so this is the Class C shares for the peasants, and then Google L is the Class A shares. And then, yeah, this has a lot more liquidity, it seems. Yeah. So you might save a little bit money if you trade these guys. Okay. Okay. Let's look at Microsoft. Let's see. And I'm still devastated that their Activision another diversity hire for the Activision president. Did we talk about this last week? I don't remember. She's from the Call of Duty family, which is also a disaster. And can I call her a diversity hire without being racist? um, but yeah, I mean, gosh, I mean, Blizzard has gone down the toilet for all of the, I guess, millennial gamers. Like this is not a crazy thing, but yeah, very, very at least depressing. Yeah. Okay. Microsoft shares unimpressed by big top and bottom line beat. So yay, they met expectations. Okay. Let's see how it's shaken up. Let's see. Personal computing revenue is in the $17 billion mark. Productivity and business processes. Is this Microsoft Office? Let's see. Heavily AI exposed intelligent cloud unit. Once again, to highlight Microsoft Cloud, 33 billion. Intelligent cloud of 26 billion. Okay. Flagship Azure growth continued to be 30% year-over-year growth. Wow, okay. We're moving from talking about AI to applying AI at scale. Uh-huh. And how many folks have you fired, Mr. Satya? Okay. Yeah, still lots of pickup net buying overall. Still a nice steady staircase. What's that? A y equals 1/3 slope or something? Da, 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 da. I'd say it's neutral from a put call ratio standpoint, but yeah, it's a decent chugging along. Okay, cool. Um, let's go to Apple. All right, Apple catching heat all across the world. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Apple has lowered its 2024 iPhone shipments of key upstream semiconductor components to about 200 million units, which corresponds to a decline of 50% year over year. And the new 16 series declined by 10 to 15%. What is 1H? Not sure what that is.
First half.
First half, oh, sorry. First half 2024 and second half. Okay. Thank you, Kurt. Even worse, Apple's weekly shipments in China have declined by 30 to 40% year on year in recent weeks. Yeah. Okay. So we're seeing the rise of Huawei and foldable phones, but that may not last if they run out of 7-nanometer chips. Okay, let's go to the charts, see how Apple's shaping up. Okay, so we're doing these leapfrogs into its 200-day moving average. Notably here, from an on-balance volume standpoint, we're seeing a collapse in pickup. Everyone has been selling off since looks like mid-December, and we're back at the zero line and treading water. So folks are not thrilled. and we'll see how earnings shakes up after today's close. And oh no, not today close. It already closed. Sorry. But yeah, let's see what are analytics. Pardon me. Pretty bearish today or right now. Post earnings. Okay. 0.956. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next. All right, cool. Let's see swaggy stocks. What are the kids on Robinhood trading? And if you're new to swaggy stocks, this looks at the toxic subreddit called Wall Street Bets and does a nice sentiment analysis of all the posts and mentions. So instead of reading through the bathroom wall of the internet, you can just look at the aggregate data here. So lots of folks talking Apple, Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, Supermicro, Meta, AMD, AI stuff. The Qs, Peloton, Microsoft, SoFi, TLT, Oil, Zim. So huge pickup here from the Red Sea debacles. New York Bancorp, which we talked about. Wendy's, Exxon, Qualcomm. What's fine? Boeing. What is this? RKLB, Rivian, Cloudflare, and McDonald's. What is fine and was it RBL RKLB stock? What is this? What is fine? Fine, fine. Don't know what that is. RBLK is Rocket Lab? What is Rocket Lab?
I think it's kind of like a SpaceX company, right?
Okay, not doing well.
Okay.
We open access to space to improve life on Earth. Are you sure you're not sending up space satellites for the DoD? Let's see. Okay, SpaceX competitor. I didn't know about this. Who's our resident expert on space stuff? We haven't seen him in a long time. Teaches at Arizona State. Name slips my mind. Okay.
I think these guys launch from New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
There's one that launches from New Zealand and another one that launches through Alaska.
Okay. Rocket Lab. Let's look up these guys. Publicly traded aerospace and launch service provider. Lightweight electron orbital rockets.
Auckland, New Zealand, yeah.
Cool. Uh, da, 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 da. Losing a lot of money though. Headquartered in Long Beach. Okay.
Mhm.
Let me drop this in the chat if you guys would like to look these guys up. Okay. So that's what the kids are trading. Let's just look at the charts. Rocket Lab. Not having a great day. Let's see. We're seeing some a tightening band here. Huge gap down. Huge sell-off lately. Wow. Okay. Not having a good time. And I can see why the kids like it. It's under that $10 mark, you know.
Hmm.
0.878, very bearish. Will this pain continue? Well, they're definitely not making money, being a new venture and all. At least there's weekly contracts. How's the bid-ask spread? Oh, it's a disaster. Monthlies, disaster. Okay, not even tradable. Okay, let's move on. And let's see. Thank you, Dave, for the transcript. If we will finally get to our news articles, we'll look at this. All right, cool. I'll save this tab right here. All right. Finally, get into our news cycles. All right. Here's our Black Swan list from last week. And again, I added the civil unrest stuff, but let's see. Anything jump out at us in terms of urgency? I got some disease X news in China stuff. Anything else? We have supply chain food issues. So the chicken farm up in flames in Texas. What else? Shipping lane problems are continued, and that affects, I believe, about 12% of global shipping volume. Okay. And let's see. Any theaters of war to add here, guys? Um,
Do we have like banking crisis in there?
That's good. Renewed banking crisis. Due to lack of reduced rates and banks needing to roll over their products, their bonds. Okay. Yep. Okay. Banking crisis. All right. Thank you, Wani. Yep. We'll look at
What
let's
about
just
like
yeah, we'll look at
political assassination? Assassination,
political assassination. That is so
like any head of the state.
I think mainly that's Putin, right? Putin is dodging drones. Like, does he look out a window even ever again? But yeah. Spelling. All right, it's okay. We understand it's assassination. Okay. And theaters of war. Where else are we fighting? Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Iran, the Gaza Strip, of course, Ukraine, of course. I guess Taiwan Strait to a certain extent. Um,
Also South China Sea.
yeah,
Mhm.
South China Sea. The Korean Peninsula to a certain extent. I mean, we had the F-16 that just crashed for no reason. At least
Wow.
without a disclosed reason. The pilot's okay though. Anything else I'm forgetting? West Africa has been kind of quiet, right? We'll leave that as a parentheses. West Africa.
Also Sudan, right?
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll put that here. Sudan. Oh, Somalia. We have rockets in Somalia. That's right. Oh God. Don't we need congressional approval for all this?
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be. Oh, okay. If you guys think of any more places, we'll add it back here. All right, cool. Here's our most important article. Let's look at Jerome Powell's shenanigans. Actually, let's jump to the transcript. Thank you, Dave. We have to jump to Q&A where he answered the question to where is that? All right, Q&A, Q&A. Oh God. What was the trigger word for that? I forgot. 5.3. Sorry, I'm just skimming really quickly. Meaningful. Okay. Wants to keep inflation above 2%. Yeah. When inflation come, we'll have to depend on. Where's the rate cut paragraph? Let me fast forward to the end. Quick follow-up, blah, 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 lower rates. Yes, we see here we go. We see these as independent tools, blah, 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 normalizing policy. We will see looking at the committee March and March. To say components from the market, best ways for public, so how to think about it. We take in position got to 0. Where the hell is the paragraph? What the inflation forecast, blah blah blah. Okay, sorry, I can't find it, guys.
I put it in there for FYI, not there was any issue.
I'm trying to find a key paragraph where everything went to hell. Where is it? It's okay. We'll just stick with the summary. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Is this the statement? Let's see. Basically, yes. I don't think it's likely there'll be a rate cut in March. So that's 3 minus 1 equals 2. My guess is productivity may go back to where we were, planning to start in-depth balance sheet talks in March. Okay, so no March cut, and therefore regional banks that needed this lifeline had huge problems, starting with New York Community Bank Corp, which bought up a lot of Signature Bank's bad assets, I believe. So let's look up NYCB and see how that's shaken up. All right, so they were down like 30% the other day. massive sell-off here. Down 8% for today. Holy cow, I should have held my shorts a little bit longer. But yeah, still very bearish at 1.352. And maybe I need to write this down. Okay. But yeah, they have nice weeklies. And bid-ask spread is decent. And yeah, let's see. They just had earnings they had earnings, duh. And then we have a dividend payment coming out on 2/13. So don't hold past that ideally. So if you don't want to get caught up in the ex-dividend fiascos. Okay. Let's jump back to our notes. The doves cried. Oh, sweet Jesus. That is a scary image. Let's see. March rate cut odds have tumbled. Duh. And stock market went wild. Yes, we all saw that. Small caps were the biggest loser of the day. Okay. And the Dow was the least ugly glue horse. Sorry, the least ugly horse in the glue factory. That's a good line. Okay. Um, and let's see, Mac 7 took a big hit as well. I imagine tech is not thrilled with that since they need cheap money. Yeah, let me drop this in the chat. I got overlapping charts, so we can skip past this. But yes, we were missing a March cut here. And this is kind of funny. We haven't looked at this in a while, but yes, we're finally seeing notable inflows into Bitcoin ETFs. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys. So let's see. Fund flow. All right, big boys include iShares, Fidelity, Bitwise, ARK, and Franklin to a smaller extent, and Invesco. And Grayscale is losing a lot of money. Okay, and then Wisdom and ProShares doing okay as well. Okay. And Supermicro 52-week high, margin calls, huge buying. Thank you, Ross. Let's go to the charts and see what is happening with SMCI. Wow, up 9% for the day. Kind of in the, I'd say it's slightly neutral on the put call ratio at least. But yeah, let's go to the charts. Wow, ripping up. Beautiful curve right there. Wow. Um, uh, Big earnings beats. Yeah, wow. Huge buy-in. No kidding. And it's going even higher as we're talking. Wow. Um, okay. I need to write that down. SMCI. All right. What non-rate cut, right? Supermicro gives no shits. All right, cool. Let's see. Let me see if live news has anything related to these guys. Have the analysts caught up yet? No. Okay. I'd imagine we'll see some analysts update their opinions at some point and sustain this nice little rally. All right, cool. And let's jump back to our notes. March 560 call. Is that the play? Wait, what? Oh, 560, 560. Okay. 560. Huh. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. All right, let's jump back to our notes. All right, regional banks. Let's dive in a little bit closer. So we talked about New York Bancorp having its problems here. Let's see. Let's actually go to, so it's gone below its pre-Silicon Valley Bank debacle lows. Let's just go to the charts really quick. Let's look at the regional ETF of these banks, which is KRE. And let's see how this is shaking up. All right, so gapping down, no inflows. It is looking for its sorry, it's looking for its 500-day moving average. Let's check if the holdings have changed. KRE Holdings. Okay, Holdings. All right, let's see. Citizens Financial Group, Truist, Zions Bancorp, Regions, Huntington Bank Shares, M&T, Western Alliance, First Horizon, New York, and East West Bank. Interesting. This is a Chinese bank. And yeah, this has changed quite a bit since we last looked at this. So a lot of reshuffling here. I forgot. How do we look up holdings on TOS for this stuff?
It's
Forgot.
not in TOS. You Google it.
Okay, yeah, I thought we could do it before. Vaguely, yeah, okay, that's okay. But yeah, let's see. So that's KRE. What's the biggest one? Citizens Financial. What is theirs? Ticker. Citizens Financial. CFG. Okay. CFG. Looks like it's also pacing carry pretty closely. What are people doing with this sector leader? Very bearish. Not a great market, but yeah, pretty bearish. Ooh, that's not the best bid-ask spread, but yeah. Okay. Let's go back to article. Shares of Zion, Bancorp, Coester are all tumbling. Okay. Let's think our largest a little bit. So who's the main loser? Western Alliance. All right, that's a name we're more familiar with. Let's pull this guy up. And we're always looking for the biggest loser. All right, Wall. All right. Damn, it's almost 6.5% for the day. Wow, 20,000 puts against 7,000 calls. Do we have a shorting candidate today? Holy cow. Write that down. Write that down. All right. Uh yes, lots of selling and yeah, more more room to fall. All right. So yeah, nice big confident doji and then yeah, beautiful. All right, cool. We'll have to keep our eye on this. All right. Let's see. Anything else helpful? Uh, nope. Okay, cool. All right. Next article. I think we had another helpful chart here as well. Let me double check. Here we go. Let's see. Changing holdings for absorbing on net all treasuries. Here's the Fed, rest of the world, financials, households, and corps. Okay. So you don't want to be in this category left holding the bag. And especially if the Fed is dumping. And so is the rest of the world. Okay. Uh, household stepping in as financial step back. Can you say suckers? All right. Black line is US households percent of holdings of US treasuries. Going up. Okay. And then non-bank financial institutions going the other way. Okay. And then US stock bond correlation. Positive stock bond correlation is causing financials to reduce bond positioning. This might be premature, but sure. That is one interpretation. Okay, so yes, US households are picking up the bag. Don't be like the typical US household, I guess. Especially when banks are selling off treasuries. Okay.
Some of that is people just parking their money at 475.
Uh, that is an excellent point. I think Flavius is our lead representative for our team at least. Yeah.
In any case, it's not.
Yeah. Cool. And then where are we on the emoji guide to investing? It's probably sectors, it's particular to different sectors, but where do you guys think we are? Maybe here? Slightly? Okay. All right. Let's see. Peter Schiff. Oh yeah, this is a fun podcast. There's some good highlights. Let me fast forward. Let me fast forward. What is it? Uh, What was a better quotable? Da, 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 da. Oh, okay, yeah, here we go. It was about the Fed Philly Manufacturing Index. Let's see. There was talk of a manufacturing renaissance from the Biden press staff, but they got the R right, except it's recession instead of renaissance. Ha ha ha. Or a witty American libertarian. But yeah. Thought I had better notes here. Okay, that's okay. We'll skip this. Okay, next article. Era of easy money has ruined us. There are some fun charts here, so let's take a look at this. Let's see. Okay, we looked at this, I think, about 2 weeks ago, but let me zoom out and make this a little bit bigger. So here's total percentage assets held by the top 0.1%. And we're clocking at about 20 trillion according to Q3 figures. And if it's paced with inflation, it should be 4.3 trillion. So the rich got a lot richer. No surprises there. They're a little closer to the printing press. And let's see. Net worth, the top 1%, which is 3 million Americans, is 45 trillion out of a total of 146 trillion for household net worth. And 31%, see, 31%, sorry, 12.4 net worth of the bottom 50%. Okay. So yes, the rule of thumb is don't be poor. Okay. And then the bottom 50% American households lost ground in the era of easy money. So they're paying the direct costs of inflation because they're further away from the printing press. Okay. Let's see. We know this already. Federal debt. Wow, this is scary. So inflation from 1990 to 2023, $1 becomes 237, and then GDP has 4.3x since 1990. And federal debt has well outpaced GDP growth like crazy. So for every injection shot of liquidity and quantitative easing, we're getting a lot less pickup from a GDP standpoint. That's not a good trend. And as China has recently learned, yes, solving debt with more debt doesn't really work. And we'll take a look at those charts in a bit. And naturally, when you have a lot of free money or cheap money, and you have political agendas like ESG gobbledygook, that's also not good for business, and doesn't make a lot of money, it looks like. All right, let me make this a little bit bigger. All right, so here we see inflows and outflows for the ESG sectors. Strong inflows, and then it turned the other way officially, it looks like in Q2 of 2022, and someone's right is here. All right, and then let's see, it's going the other direction, and the shaded part is showing the sell-off extensively. All right, so now we're down about 3% a year as of last quarter. Okay, so most of that was focused on climate action, affordable clean energy, and in industry, innovation, and infrastructure. And we'll look at more EV news in a bit to see the latest on the street. All right, so that's not this is losing favorability quickly. All right, no surprises there. All right, cool. Let's look at these two controlled opposition mofos. All right, so this guy's an actor, British comedian, dated Katy Perry, blah blah blah. And then we know Tucker Carlson, of course. And they talked a lot about pharma a little bit. They had this big interview that was kind of trending, blah, blah, blah. Talked about the Uniparty, blah, blah, blah. But my problems is this guy's best friend is von Klaus's #2 man. God, what's his name? It's this complicated Israeli name. It's the guy who wants to hack human beings. Or what's his book? Sapiens, Homo Sapiens, I think. I just saw it. Harari. There we go. All right, Harari and Russell Brand. All right, there's the search term I needed. All right, so there's a picture of this guy like kissing his head. Here we go. All right, all right. So this guy, sorry, Yuval Noah Harari is the #2 WEF man or WEF man. and he's gay, and I believe he fucks children. Wait, let's keep it PG. He sleeps with children. All right. And this guy is a little too close to him. All right. So this is my big problem with Russell Brand. And I believe he's controlled opposition. And I've pissed off Dave with this before too. But yeah, Tucker Carlson, I have some problems with him because he he asked Hunter Biden for a letter of recommendation to get his own son into Georgetown. There's screenshots of this. We don't have to dive deep into it, but yeah, I kind of have a problem with that. Like, like if you're gonna be like, a supposed Republican spokesperson, then you have to lay all your cards on the table. And I just don't like that he glosses over this item. But this really did happen. So, I just like to know, like, I want to know everyone's sins. Like, I don't like I don't appreciate hypocrisy. But yeah. So that's my main problem with these two figures, and I see them both as controlled opposition, and they're both flapping the wings of the same uniparty bird. And Russell Brand has a more of an international appeal. And what is this from Ross? The first panacea for mismanagement is the inflation of currency. The second is war. Both bring temporary prosperity. Both bring a permanent ruin. Both are a refuge, political and economic opportunists. All right, yeah. So yes, I think yeah. That's a great quote. I'll have to say that. That's pretty cool. Thank you, Ross. Let me I'll just save it. Cool. Okay, cool. But yeah, useful idiots. All right, cool. And then I thought of Wani when this came out. I remember Wani mentioning last week that she's very optimistic and believes everyone is out to help her. And I think there's definitely a place and time for that. But they looked at a bunch of data among traders and they found that the realists and pessimists made a little bit more money. So I'm not saying you should drink like depressants during your trading hours, but maybe it wouldn't help or it couldn't hurt. But yeah, is realism the best way to go? It's interesting, but yeah, I like, as we see, like a lot of our articles are from Zero Hedge. It's like Zero Hedge is like I guess you could say it's like a permanent bear for the most part. And having Warren interpret this also doesn't help. But yeah, I thought it's kind of like a funny article. So yeah. Okay, cool. Let's go to our next article. Oh yeah, this reminds me of something called the behavioral sink. If you haven't heard of this, it's a famous mouse experiment by and I guess a ethiologist. It's popular among like I learned this in psych class a long time ago, but this guy basically created a perfect utopia for rats, and he provided like a lot of space, infinite feeding, and just wanted to see what they would do. And it was a total disaster. So this was in 1962, and what happened was um, female rats were. Oh, I'll just summarize it quickly. So the rat society collapsed. Women stopped taking care of their kids and started even eating them. Males stopped having sex with females and were just grooming themselves. And there became the rise of what was called the pretty ones. And it's almost like a parallel for like American culture to a certain extent, where people just focus on the superficial vanity aspects of being pretty, and they forget to reproduce, which reminds us of like South Korea, where everyone's very pretty, but they're not having babies for many reasons. And plastic surgery as a rite of passage for 18-year-olds doesn't help either. So yeah, it's kind of interesting if you want to like look at this. Let me drop this in the chat. But yeah, it's a very fascinating parallel for what happens when you have infinite food and space to roam. And you kind of need struggle. Without struggle, things get crazy. Okay, cool. And then as a parallel to a lot of things we're seeing, let's look at Petco stock. It's not having a great time. Oh yeah, that's right. Wolf is the ticker. Oops, Wolf. And I wasn't alive, or I wasn't old enough to trade yet. But did anyone remember like Webvan and Pets.com and back in the day?
Oh, those were great days.
What was that like? What was that like?
JDS Uniphase.
What is that?
JDF face. I heard of that.
JDS Uniphase. I used to eat lunch in the cafeteria. All those kids were going to get rich.
Wait, what is it? I don't even know what that is. JD what? Uniphase?
JDS Uniphase.
What is that?
They built fiber optic stuff in 2000.
Milpitas. Okay. You were working here?
No, I was working across the parking lot from them. They had an open cafeteria.
Oh, you just pop over and eat? That's cool.
Yeah, I eat. And the conversations at the table from the employees were, just unbelievable.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Is the
Shareholder.
company still around? Are they still
It got
around or
bought
they
out.
gone?
I think
Oh.
it's gone.
2001 crash.
Something else.
Wow.
Crash.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get a chart. JDSU chart. Oh. No, that's growth. No, that's something else. Max data. No? Okay. But did you ever like track down like whatever happened to these folks?
Yeah, I did look it up, but I don't. That was a couple years ago. I don't remember.
Let's see if anyone lists this on their resume on LinkedIn. That'd be funny. JDSU. 400 followers. Okay. Any key people? Let's see. Oh, we're not gonna find anything useful. Okay, not really. Okay. But yeah, okay. Good times there. Did you trade options then, or did you have to call a broker? Like, what was trading like then?
Shit, I don't know. I wasn't trading then.
Oh, okay.
I was just eating lunch in the cafeteria and listening to these people. They were, the previous generation of the Reddit folks.
Yeah. We're gonna retire. We're gonna buy yachts and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Good times. All right. Finally get the domestic news. All right. Oh my God, 12:48. We gotta speed up a little bit. All right. So we talk about Oakland shenanigans. It's become the new Detroit. Denny's has closed, which is on the 600 block of
Oh.
Hagenberger, right outside of the Coliseum. And
I
gosh,
used to work there too,
oh wow.
on Hegenberger.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That
Um,
was shit. That was 30 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe
Mhm.
40 years ago.
yeah.
It was different then.
Everything is different then, right?
Starbucks has also
What-
closed. Black Bear Diner has also closed.
Wow.
So it's just a disaster. And it looks like Kaiser might be the next one to shut down. Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, just be careful. The Oakland tax is real.
Well,
Yeah,
everything out there has just always been dangerous.
yeah. And they've
Mhm.
lost all their sports teams. The Oakland Arena and the Coliseum is now like all those jobs have disappeared. It's just it's a total shame.
Well, look at what's behind it. Is the fact that the whole place is owned half by the city and half by the county. It's a
Mhm.
total invitation for disaster. Two
Mhm.
sets of politicians fighting each other. Nothing would get accomplished. Everybody left.
Half of what?
Half of the Coliseum is owned
Oh,
by
okay,
the
gotcha.
city, half's owned by the county.
Yeah, yeah. I sold malts for 3 years at the Ace Games and the Day on the Greens. It was fun.
Wow. So what's gonna happen to Oakland? A lot of the wow.
More of this. So this is West Oakland. Gotham
East
Oakland is the
14.
channel. Holy cow. But yeah, this is Skid
Wow.
Row. And we talked about like there's streetwalkers, there's everything here.
Mhm.
Wait, is this a drone following this guy? Wait, no, someone else following this guy. Okay. But yeah, and it's freezing and it's raining like crazy, and God, I just don't want to be caught.
Wow. It doesn't look like the US.
Yeah, it looks like
It's sad.
Looks like Somalia, right? Oh my God.
Yeah, some third
I'm sure there are
world.
places in LA that look like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Worse.
definitely.
And this is where
Or
there's
worse.
outbreaks, rats, tuberculosis,
Yeah.
Yeah,
plague,
look at that trash. That's disgusting.
Look at
typhoid,
that.
That's how you
Wow.
get rats.
and dysentery. You get swamp butt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
that's right. People use that as a garbage dump. So that's people dumping their stuff off.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Terrible.
That's Oakland's purpose in life.
That's right. Scared of white people.
Asian people too.
But then they just go into the Oakland Hills where all the Asians live and rob everybody one by one because they have cash,
Yeah.
jewels, and they're unarmed.
Or
Yeah.
they take BART and go to San Francisco and ply their trade there.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's true because they are coming over to this side of town, the rich area, Walnut Creek, Danville, you name it. I mean, we even Castro Valley too, a lot of crimes now.
But thank you to Ross for just, shifting to more positive news. Here's our adjusted S&P composite. And if you factor in M2 money supply and you keep it constant instead of the constant money printing, this is a great chart that shows we actually haven't broken the 1929 high at all. That's incredible. Yeah. So um, return on equity, yeah, not great with the US dollar. So yeah, thank you, Ross. All right, cool. We'll fast forward a little bit. Manufacturing survey shows rebound in January, but prices are soaring. No surprises there. I believe there was some good data on this one. Let's fast forward a little bit. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Thought there was better. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh yeah, this is a great parallel against Bank of Japan. So there is some pushback that if Japan has had it worse than Uncle Sam, then the US has nothing to fear. Not really, but yeah, let's expand this chart a little bit. All right. Okay, that's too big. All right. So blue is the Fed balance sheet, and then this dark ruby is Bank of Japan. So relatively speaking, how far can you run the deficit? According to Japan, very far, but we don't have this, like we don't have a population, we don't have a depopulation crisis quite like Japan. So our liabilities will not grow smaller over time. If anything, it'll expand. So we kind of have a different problem. So yeah, that was the key chart there. Let's go to our next article. Oh yeah, Portland. We'll just fast forward through all this. But yeah, fentanyl crisis is a disaster there. So be careful if you have to travel through Portland. I had a couple friends go through there and they just got their rentals ransacked. And I'm like, why are you in Portland? Uh, and for the gun folks, I believe the Utah and Arizona CCW is whatchamacallit, recognized like in 38 US states, including Oregon. So like a lot of my friends that do have to travel through there just carry religiously. And we'll see GPA inflation there and people being stupid. Arizona at least is willing to teach about the ills of communism there. That's good for them. And I do like their time zone thing, but it does make booking meetings in Arizona a little bit tricky if you have to figure out like what time of year it is. All right, cool. Shifting to the political theater for a second, let's see. Biden has this remarkably insensitive tweet. Let's see if we can pull it up really quick. Biden Elmo tweets. Let's go to the source. All right. Where's Elmo? Okay. You know it's bad when Muppets have to be mentioned. Where's the tweet? He deleted it? Oh no, here we go. Oh my God. Okay. I know how hard it is some days to sweep the clouds away and get to sunnier days. Our friend Elmo was right. We have to be there for each other, offer our help to a neighbor in need, and above else, ask for help when we need it. Even though it's hard, you're never alone. Okay. 10% to the big guy, but you know, everyone else has to get paid before the veterans and the homeless and everything else. All right. Thanks, President Biden. Okay, cool. And then we talked about measles briefly. This is just a lot from the unregulated southern border. No surprises there. Fire has engulfed a chicken plant in Texas, and let's figure out which major purveyor this is. And let's look at the big boys, which is Tyson and Friends. Doesn't say who. Oh, Confederate Crest Farms. Who is that? Are they stock? Are they public? They are not public. Okay, that's okay. Let's go to Tyson. What is TSN? TSN is the ticker, right? Tyson Foods. All right, the big boy. How is Tyson Foods? I've looked at them quite a bit. Wow, I didn't know it was quite the disaster. It's been all over the place. This looks like a very difficult trade to read. It's dancing briefly above the 200-day moving average, and here's a 500-day average just trailing up above. What is the betting public like? Um, Dead middle, very low volume. Okay, this is just a hard sector to play. Okay, yeah, okay, we'll leave this alone. Okay, there's easier sectors to trade, but yeah, that's food for you. We talked about Snoop Dogg and hip hop. Oh, let's look at I'm unfamiliar with this company, Ad Latam stock. Okay, it's ATG. All right, let's take a look. Oh my God, it's almost 12. We gotta fast forward. All right. Okay, only monthly contracts here. That's not great. Still very bearish. Down 3% for the day. Yeah, net outflows. Disaster here. Earnings call today. Okay. So there's some shenanigans here with for-profit ed company shares being talked about activist short sellers. Okay, so it's a short squeeze among no, a reverse squeeze. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Let's skip ahead. Let's pull up last week's trading week 4 screenshots and we'll look at Tesla inventories. Let me get down here. That was under domestic, right? Domestic. Okay. Where's the screenshots? If you guys need any past week's notes, let me know. Wait, where's Tesla? Tesla. Hold on, what's the January 18th? All right, here we go. Here, let me copy and paste this. Okay, so for those of you who are a little confused, we looked at Tesla inventories and we want to see how many Teslas Hertz is actually selling since they're unloading some 20,000 units. And we want to see how much they're going for because that's the exciting part. All right. So let's go to hertzcarsales.com. And we have our prior things saved. So we have 671. Let's get a nice little screenshot and paste this into our notes. So it is 2124 overall Tesla counts. So we saw 765 last week. How much inventory have they moved? Someone's buying them? Wow, they moved like 90 units out of 20,000. I guess something's happening. And let's find out the cheapest cars. All right. Let's see. The cheapest local one was, I think, in Pleasanton, right? Let's see if that's still up here. Oh, wait, let's see what the mileage is. That's always fun. 92,000 miles, 83,000 miles, 77,000 miles. Here's a 97,000 there. Here's a 98 in Norfolk. Norwalk? Looks like the Pleasanton one got moved or got sold. So good for them. And look at these prices, guys. 22,000. Is there anything cheaper than 20,000? 22. Wow. If this breaks below the $20,000 mark, you're gonna see a lot of suicidal Bay Area techies here. So yeah, let's save a screenshot. This is the cheapest one. All right. That's hilarious. Okay. But this is the cheapest from last week, I believe. 24. So that's we're seeing another dip. All right. Cheapest Tesla. Okay. Oops. All right. And of course, we gotta look at Tesla stock. Okay. How is this trading? 188. Hasn't been a fun month at least. And especially post earnings. And let's see. Pretty bearish for today as well. Okay. No surprises there. Sorry, what are inflows? Barely treading water. Okay. Okay. All right, so that's Tesla for you. Let's shift to real estate. Let's look at globalized risks. All right. All right, shares of Japan's Azora Bank about to implode on massive US commercial real estate exposure. All right, so Japan's Azora Bank slashed the value of some of its US tower homes by 50%. And it was no joke in about the 80s and 90s of Japan buying up everything, huh? So let's see.
Oh, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
What's that, Kurt?
Oh no, sorry, I was.
Oh, no worries. All good. Aozora wrote down the value of its non-performing loans by office loans by 58%, 63% reduction in Chicago, and 51 and 59% in New York, DC, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. So all cities plagued by violent crime and controlled by radical Democrats. Okay. Let's see. It's a shock. Really? The expectation was the worst was over and the bank had set aside enough provisions. Guess not. So yeah, zombie economy will be more zombified in Japan. And with that, let's look at the yen to US dollar. That's always fun. We looked at the number was 148 last week, right? And let's see what it is today. Is this, I need to invert it, right? Oh, 146.2. Okay, a little bit better. All right, but not much. All right. All right, Airbnb, this is the fun stuff. So we saw regulations go the other way in New York, and now we're seeing California catch up. So Palm Springs has officially set new policies to cap short-term rentals, and now homes are in free fall. I didn't know how tourist heavy Palm Springs is, but if you didn't know, Palm Springs was the sort of quiet and secret gay mecca for Hollywood. I didn't know this, but yeah. Um, let's see. So Los Angeles is having its crackdown. We know about that. We talked about that in the past. And now let's see, Palm Springs. They had some good figures here. Let's see. Uh, So New York City also shifted its policy that allows rentals if the host remains present in the unit for the entire stay, which is not really possible if have a big speculation portfolio. Um, so let's see. Um, so let's see. Palm Springs specifically has capped number of rental certificates in any given neighborhood to 20% of the homes there. So let's see. Currently, some neighborhoods are about 41.6%. So that's a lot of party houses on your block. And I'm sure if you're retiring there, living your peaceful years, that's quite the shock. So of the 66 organized neighborhoods, 10 are over the limits, blah, blah, blah. And no one's buying homes. That makes a lot of sense, of course, with the high cost of capital. One client paid 1.1 million for a home and spent 300,000 on reservations. Then the cap kicked in. Now she's not sure if she'll be able to sell it for 1 million. Oh, I feel so sorry for you guys. Okay. And then let's see, anything else useful here? Oh, there were better figures. Occupancy rates are dismal. Okay, no surprises there. Let's see. In 2018, Palm Springs residents decisively rejected the short-term rental ban, shooting it down with 68% of the vote. And I guess obviously this is reversed. Okay. And folks are saying, I want to know my neighbors. I want stability, not a new group of people coming into the house next door every weekend. Okay. So yeah. And then, if you guys have driven through Palm Springs, it's been a couple years for me, but like I had a conference there a while ago, but I was shocked by how many weed dispensaries were everywhere, and it's CBD everything, and I guess that makes sense. And also, I didn't realize, but Palm Springs is like a drug rehab capital for Hollywood as well. So it's a gay oasis, and if you need to rehab quietly in the desert, I guess that's kind of where you go. So yeah. I just look at Airbnb stock. Let's see, I haven't traded them in a while, but I did have a brief short, I believe, in December. They came up on my OBV scanner, and that was like a good, yeah, right here. So milk that, but yeah. So let's see. Um, we're kind of near this quadruple top here, about like the 150 level. So we hit this last year in July, September, this year in December, and now. So we might have some room to fall. Okay. But for recently, at least net momentum is positive. And let's go to the analytics and see what today's betting public likes. It's pretty bearish overall. Okay. But yeah, there is some challenges ahead for Airbnb, I believe. Okay. Fun stuff. Let's look at this. Is Alan here? He is not. Okay. Um, So this goes back to like plantation company store like history, and lots of American companies are planning on building company towns, which is not a good thing. Let's see. So we're looking at the folks like Google, Tesla, and Meta. Uh, I know for sure that Meta already has something, but it's not scaled for the full-time employees. It's for the intern program. They do have a lot of multi-units just for that. And it looks like Elon Musk is building an entire town in Austin, not just for Tesla, but for his other companies. So his mining company, Tesla, and SpaceX. Okay. And then here's Google for a 153-acre neighborhood in Mountain View already, which has 7,000 residential units and 26 acres of parks. But yeah, heaven forbid, should you lose your Google job, you're going to lose your health insurance, your income, and your housing. And I'm sure they'll give you like I don't know, a week to move or something crazy. So yeah, that's tying up a lot of eggs in the same basket. A little dangerous. So yeah, not a great trend, especially with institutions buying up single family homes like crazy anyway. Okay. Pivoting to engineering news. I stuff a lot of EV news in here as well. So we'll look at that here. 12:09. I gotta speed up. Holy cow. Sorry, guys. All right. So I thought this was a good evolution. FANG stocks have now transitioned to be the Magnificent Seven, and then also transitioned slowly to the AI Five. And then the Magnificent Seven is kind of a ironic name if you know about the history. So there's the movie, there's a remake, but there's also the classic movie from the 60s, which is a copy of the Japanese film, The Seven Samurai, which is amazing production, but it's also like a tragic production or a tragic story in general. So if I was a part of the Magnificent Seven, I wouldn't want to be included in there. Like it's not a happy ending. But yeah. So we got Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, Google, Meta, and Amazon, Microsoft for the seven, and then for the AI clump, it's Microsoft, TSM, Broadcom, Nvidia, and AMD. So yeah, interesting evolution there. We kind of talked about this in our intro. Elon is pissed at this 9 stock share judge messing around with his compensation package. And it's just bizarre that you could have this even happen. But yeah, he's swearing at Delaware up and down now. And he's having all kinds of lawsuits from child support to this. Like, Elon's not having a good time lately, I'm sure. But yeah, he's kind of pissed. Okay. And he did a poll asking if Tesla should reincorporate in Texas, and everyone voted yes, pretty much. So his accounting team is going to have to deal with that, and yeah, that's quite the nightmare. But not our problem, right? All right, cool. There was a sex doll shop or sex doll brothel that was set up and immediately shut down due to neighborhood complaints. I think the guy was renting them out for like 60 pounds or whatever. But yeah, we'll see how this shapes up in future AI news. And then briefly mention about this in our intro as well. Tesla has a massive recall and they want folks to stop driving altogether. Like I haven't heard of this before. And this affects primarily an older set of cars. It was mainly conserved for Takata airbags from '02 to 2015, and it's made mostly the Corollas of '03 and '04 and the RAV4s and the Corolla Matrix. So how long did they notice? Very questionable. And if you guys have seen the movie Fight Club, um, it's kind of interesting to see the parallels. So yeah, so supposedly due to the age of the vehicles, if the airbag deploys, a part inside is more likely to explode and shoot sharp metal fragments, which would cause serious injury or death to the passengers. Owners should not drive these vehicles until the free safety recall repair has been conducted. So if you know of anyone that drives an older Corolla or Matrix or a RAV4, please give them a phone call and tell them to stop driving. Okay. So yeah. All right. And I pasted here. On the happier side, the Toyota's chairman has continued his skepticism of the electrical car industry and says at best EV adoption will be about 30%. And seems like the market is proving him correct. So let's look at some EV stats. EV stats overall has climbed 29% in Q4. And there's a lot of folks, if you guys perhaps saw this in passing, but charging costs are skyrocketing due to different utility companies raising their prices as well. So let's see here. Car sales themselves, Q4. So Toyota, Ford, Chevrolet, Honda, Hyundai, Nissan, Kia, and then Tesla. Okay. And who's on the bottom here? Let's see. Who's BrightDrop? Fiat, Lucid, Alfa Romeo, Chrysler, Rivians, Minis. Okay. But yeah. Okay. And yeah, let's skip this. So we got that. Next useful article. I was gonna put this in the loser of the week, but this I saw this article about this guy and it's just his justification on why he's buying Rivian stock. Kind of interesting. But yeah, let's see. It's point number one. EVs will win, guaranteed. Yeah. Good luck with that. Number two, pure EV makers like Rivian and Tesla will crush traditional auto manufacturers. We'll see if that happens. Point number three, Rivian makes wonderful vehicles that customers love. Okay, they're kind of aesthetic, sure. Rivian has enormous upside right now. We'll look at the charts in just a second. But yeah, interesting justifications. A little bit of
Fanboy.
yeah. Sorry, was that Dave?
Fanboy.
Yeah, fanboy, yeah. Not gonna lie, there are big risks. All right, so here's the disclaimers. They have a new vehicle rollout. But like Rivian, if I remember correctly, they lose tens of thousands for every unit sold. So it's just shareholder equity financing all of this.
That's true. There's a YouTube I saw, and I'll post it in the chat, but it's basically saying for every car they sell, they're writing a $30,000 check, and it's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, Rivian stock, they have earnings coming up in about 3 weeks. It's not having a good time. Let's look at analytics. Negative PE ratios are always fun. And yeah, people are buying the dip though. Okay. But yeah, in terms of net momentum, it's at the dead zero line. So more room to fall. And I'm sure earnings will not be fun. And their last couple of earnings have been disasters. So if Wani's looking for a directional play, I would encourage her to go non-directional, but this should be fun, right?
Just short the heck out of it, right?
Yeah. And then their other cousins like Fisker and whatnot are also not having a good time, right? So Fisker's what? Yeah, FSR. Wow,
FS.
yeah, it's a penny stock. Look at this.
Wow.
This the
Wow.
sell-off. And for an electric car, I gotta say, the Fisker Karma was really pretty, if you guys have seen it before. Oh, let me paste this into this fanboy article into the chat. I'm gonna talk shit later in like a month, like after earnings, and post some shit here. But yeah, uh, sorry. Fisker Karma is a relatively pretty EV car. I think it looks better than the Model S. Like it looks like a blend of a Maserati and something, or a like almost looks like the Dodge Viper grill. But I think it's fairly pretty. But yeah,
It's the
How
hybrid.
much is it? How much is it?
That's a hybrid, right?
oh, it's a hybrid. It's a tiny hybrid. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
range is garbage. But yeah, it was like starting at 135 at the time. Oh,
Wow,
right.
135.
Yeah,
It's like 11 years old.
yeah. I have seen a couple of these on San Antonio on that section of 280. But yeah, so yeah. Cool.
Wow.
Electrical buses are having problems in terms of maintenance, reliability, and not working. Running out of time, we'll fast forward. I thought had something good here. No. Okay, that's okay. We'll fast forward. This is kind of related. We'll skip that. We're running out of time. Let's go here. Oh, thanks, Fluff, for our earnings goodies. Okay, cool. 20 years of Apple versus Microsoft, the major cap finalists, and swapping positions all the time. So we got a nice little chart here. Let's expand this a little bit. So here we have time on the x-axis and market cap on the y, and these have the milestones of key acquisitions and product lines. So let's see. I graduated high school in 04, and Apple was not popular then, and then Apple dropped the iPhone, and that changed the world. Let's see. App Store came out, iPad came out, Azure came out, new CEOs here. LinkedIn got acquired in about 2017 when AirPods came out. Wow, it's been that long. And then let's see, we got OpenAI, Activision, and not a lot of innovation for Apple since then. So yeah, interesting. Um, but yeah, let's see what else has happened there. Yeah, they're currently neck and neck. So yeah, if you guys have ever seen, there's a great movie called Pirates of the Silicon Valley. It's about the PC revolution, and it documents the story of Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. It's an incredible documentary. Oh, it's actually it's not a documentary. It's like it's a movie, but it's incredible. Um, looks like the full version's not on YouTube. It's probably on BitChute or something. But yeah, it's incredible. Would highly recommend it. I'll drop the trailer at least. And they're both not great players, to be fair. Okay, I'll drop the trailer in the chat. Cool. All right, let's keep going. Labor news. Okay, cool. There's some talk on some layoff forums and technology forums that CEOs are using office mandates to mask poor management, which is an interesting hypothesis. And at the very least, it's a good chance of laying off workers by forcing them to quit. So no surprises there. And then jobless claims has accelerated. No surprises there as well. We'll skip that. Let's jump to UPS really quick. They have had a lot of problems. So they did score that massive labor deal with the Teamsters Union about 3 months ago, but with $180,000 salaries for drivers, that was not sustainable in the long term. So they're finding that out quickly right now. So there were some funny memes back in the day. You know, he works for UPS. Oh my God, and stuff like that. But yeah, let's go to the charts and see how that's shaping up today. And unfortunately, Amazon, which is one of their largest customers, is now eating their lunch and with their own fleets. I'm sure you've seen that all across the board. And yeah, we're now below the zero line in terms of net momentum and buying. So more pain to come. And let's look at analytics and also their cousins at FedEx. Yeah, very bearish activity. Holy cow. And these are serious wagers. They're not cheap Hail Mary plays. And let's go to FedEx and see if they are sharing the same fate. Pretty bearish as well from the analytics standpoint. And on the charts, also having some serious problems. They're dead at the zero line. And yeah, shipping volumes have dropped all across the board for both of these carriers. So yeah, not good. And I believe there was a cost figure somewhere about a comparison, or was it in the comments? Someone was comparing shipping a small package and the rate disparity. I think it was in the chat or the comments. Here we go. Here we go. 2024 USPS price changes versus lower ground rates. So for a 500-mile 1-pound package, your cheapest player is USPS versus UPS or FedEx. And then for priority, USPS is still the best game in town. In fact, the entire Reddit precious gold market uses USPS priority mail primarily to ship bricks and stuff back and forth. It's kind of crazy. And as you can see, FedEx and UPS have way outbid themselves. And there's also a logistical reason for this. So functionally, UPS has a lot more trucks and FedEx has a lot more planes. So they're regionally stacked on one side as well. So there's been some good comparisons of this, planes and trucks. Let me see if we can find the infographic that I'm thinking in my head. I think Google has a better thing. No, infographic. Come on. Okay, here we go. Something like this. Oh, where is it? Come on. Oh, not loading. Is it loading? No. Okay, let me see. Is there a better source? Okay, here we go. Okay. This is slightly stale data from a decade ago, but let's see what we can glean. UPS is a little bit bigger. Let's see, average transit times comparable. So yes, FedEx has a lot more planes. UPS has a lot more ground vehicles, and yeah. So if you want to ship freight and whatnot, usually use a freight forwarder to figure out the best package, or the best rates. But yeah, I used to work for I used to sell phase converters, if you guys know what that is. And those are like heavy beasts. They're like 100 to 500 pounds. So most of it was shipping out via UPS ground. So very little of that went out the door via FedEx. So yeah. Okay.
There's special rates on things.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of the details. When I did my internship, I shipped like 400 pounds to Austin, and it cost a hell of a lot less than $400.
Yeah. So there's like a lot of like gap inventory all across different shipments. And then it's the job of like the brokers to kind of keep that optimized. And yeah.
Yeah, like UPS, if you're a bulk person moving a lot of stuff, there's special pricing
Yeah,
deals.
you get massive discounts for volume. Yeah. There's definitely volume discounts. Yeah. Cool. So continue on the labor topic. Lots of shenanigans. Let's look at iRobot, which had their merger get failed with Amazon and subsequent collapse on the charts. So massive gap down. If you guys saw this came up in my OBV scan. I think I posted in Discord as well. Massive sell-off territory, negative 50 million shares per day, and no end in sight. It's a money loser, it looks like. And yeah, wow, major bearish action. And maybe I should jump back in here because it ain't going nowhere by tomorrow, right? And it has weekly contracts, so you know what to do. The liquidity could use some improvement though. Okay. All right. All right, we gotta speed up. Okay, international news. All right, let's start with the positive stuff. All right. Indonesia officially launched its second home visa, allowing holders to stay for 10 years, including in Bali. So if you need to relocate and you want to get out of Dodge or cheap residency option, this might be kind of cool. So yeah, trading hours for the US markets are not ideal here, but um, at least you'll have nice weather and like pretty girls all around. All right, cool. Let's see. We talked about this briefly earlier, but yes, this came from Deutsche Bank, premium article, but yes, red alert on the global supply chain issue, and the Red Sea amount accounts for 12% of global trade. So Europe will be primarily affected because they're cut off from the East Asian shipping lanes. All right, cool. We'll skip over this, but yes, rubber bullets being shot at farmers in Brussels. That's horrific, but yeah. Volvo also stops this has decided to stop funneling money into their cash pit of the Polestar, which is their EV that has gone nowhere. All right. We don't quite have time to talk about too many asset attacks, but I'll just give you guys the gist of this. It's mainly the Muslims that are using asset attacks on people, and that maims your face. It melts your face. They punish their own people with it and foreigners. It is a very brutal crime. I mean, it's psychological, it's emotional, it's not just physical damage. So if any guy ever runs up with you with a bottle, it might be a Molotov cocktail or acid. Like just run the other way. Just be careful. Okay. Um, all right. Weapons. We gotta go fast a little bit. Let's just talk missile defense for the most part, I guess. But yeah, let's look at these headlines. Ukraine set to receive bombs so new it hasn't reached the U.S. arsenal yet. Let's just verify who makes this, and let's go to our defense stocks.
It's Saab and Boeing.
Oh wow, that is a ironic match made in heaven. All right. I'm glad it doesn't have a door. So let's see. Range about 90 miles, accurate with a meter. I'm no missile defense expert, but this seems like a shitty range.
Well, they have a bunch of excess rocket motors and they're just small diameter bombs, and so they just stuck them together and ended up with that range. This is not a design specific. It's like we just got a lot of this stuff around, and so let's create.
I could blow you up at 90 miles. Almost.
Almost.
I mean, that's a long ways, considering.
Yeah. Cave breaching capability. Oh my God. Okay. With that, let's go to our stocks. All right. Here's Boeing. Post earnings, slight bump, decent net buying for now. Who's our other bad boys? Raytheon.
LMT.
Yeah. So here's Raytheon, nice uptrend. It's dancing with its 500-day moving average, but climbing steadily. Let's look at LMT. A little Lockheed action. Trading below its moving averages. In sell-off territory. What happened? Why are they so unpopular? Going to live news. Is there a reason for this? Defense contractors are saying no to their biggest customer. What? Yeah, some unpopularity here. Okay. Who else is included here? Halliburton, Mr. Dick Cheney, the Merchant of Death. It's sideways, range bound. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's jump back to our notes. Okay, let's fast forward through this. Oh, world corruption and world leader reception. We gotta look at this. All right. Where are places not to be? All right. Denmark, Finland, New Zealand. Okay, Auckland, good things. Least corrupt. Most corrupt. Somalia, Venezuela, Syria, Sudan. Okay. Okay, good to know. Do not go these places. All right. And let's see if there's an interesting overlapping Venn diagram with world leaders. All right. So approval, high approval rate. Modi. Oh, okay, that's surprising. Um, uh, let's see. And then Mexico, I don't even know who this guy is. Switzerland, Poland, Brazil, Australia, Italy, Spain, US, Canada, Sweden, UK, France. France is that low? 24%? South Korea, Germany. Oh, okay. South Korea. I did see a thread about this guy. He just vetoed an investigation for the Itaewon Halloween uh trampling accident where like 200 people died because they got smooshed together. So something's really shady. And it turns out he is the most veto-friendly South Korean president to date. And his own personal life has been unraveled a fair bit. Like he's an idiot. He's a prosecutor that failed the bar 9 times, and his wife is a glorified like a bar girl, if you know what that is, just a overpriced prostitute at a bar that you pay to drink with you. So yeah, kind of disgusting guy. I still don't know how he won that election, but yeah, interesting puppet. Okay. Um, so yeah, we don't see Denmark represented here, but it would be nice to see where they would have been. Okay. Um, we talked about Lamborghini selling out all of their orders to 2026. Let's see, China and Russia having pipeline problems. Let's fast forward so we get the China news and close up this shop here. So 4 states are about to lift their taxes on precious metals. And maybe some of you don't realize there is sales tax on precious metals. So the ones in contention here are Kentucky, Wisconsin, Georgia, and Kansas. So yeah, in California, it is the threshold is $1,500. Oh, what is that? The chat. Oh, thanks. Okay. So yeah, in California, if you purchase stuff under $1,500, then the local sales tax gets applied. But once it's above that, you're exempt. Yep. Okay. And in case you didn't know, diamond resale value is a disaster. And as a wedding DJ, I've seen this firsthand. And I've only had one client cancel a wedding, and he found out his wife was cheating on him. Really sad for that guy. But yeah, diamonds aren't worth a lot. So here's a chart. So we got gold spot in yellow, and the gray is diamonds, or I guess there's a diamond index. I didn't know there was a diamond index, but let's take a closer look. And we're seeing this touch support at this low value here. So yeah, let's look at the diamond index. I've thought about trying to flip diamonds, but my gold broker suggested not to do it. And I am very grateful. All right. So here's the diamond chart. Wow. I guess it's cheaper. All right. So I guess it's okay. Average price per carat. Okay. Yeah. Expensive stuff. Okay. We don't have to get lost too much in here, but yeah, it's on a downtrend. Okay, cool. What did Ross say? Religious nationalism in India, diamonds are for never. Always buy diamonds at pawn shop and have it polished. Ah, wise man. There you go. And if she asks where it came from, you know, from the store. Um, yeah. What did Warren Buffett say? If you don't know jewelry, know the jeweler. So yeah. Yeah. If you guys need recommendations, you can always ask me. I know lots of jewelers. And jewelers are some of the most well-armed Americans you will ever talk to. And yes, I'll leave it at that. All right, the fun stuff. China news. So Shanghai Composite Index. And the key psychological threshold for the Shanghai Composite is 3,000. And wow, they have fallen below that for a long time. And here, this big camelback hump here was from a 1 trillion RMB injection, which did nothing. The market just ate it up. So we are in huge, they're in trouble like crazy. So yeah, just steadily falling way below 3,000. So not a good time. And we don't talk about it too much, but let's talk about the Hong Kong market. Let me pull that up. Hong Kong Exchange. Wait, I don't think that's the right term. The HEX? Yeah. Wait, no. I need sorry, the Hang Seng Index. There we go. I need the chart. Okay. So this has also not recovered well at all. And it's just been a constant, this is just a huge dog. So not a good time. I forgot what I think 18,000 was a psychological level, which they haven't hit in a long time. So they're in trouble there. But yeah, let me add this to our list here and drop that. Okay, that's Hong Kong. Okay. And let's look at the conversion rate. Last week, I believe it was 7.2. We're at 7.1. So it got stronger, which is ironic. Okay. With the 1 trillion. Okay. All right, let's go to real estate and take a closer look. And again, to recap, why is real estate so important to China? It's because local municipal revenue is intimately tied with real estate sales. So there's a land sale tax, which is effectively 50% of all transactions. And this funds everything. So if real estate goes down, half the coffers go empty and then some. All right. So
What's the percentage again?
it's about 50%, generally speaking, in most properties.
15.
50.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
50. That's
yeah,
great.
correct. That's massive. Yeah. So that's why
So,
the courts don't recognize property rights because they can't mess with their grifting project.
so it's impossible to flip them.
Correct. I mean, it's possible, but well, folks have tried flipping. It's brutal, even with the 50% commission. But
Wow.
yeah,
Okay, I got you. So,
yeah, it's dangerous. All right. So apartment and commercial property sales by value. So here's post-COVID, and it's a collapse. And you also have to realize as you're building buildings in a later era, they're more tofu drag style projects, which is shoddier material, misallocated labor and whatnot. So the buildings are of shittier and shittier quality as you build newer ones. So a lot of folks aren't buying new builds and sticking with the secondary market for that reason too. All right. And residential starts have also collapsed in a big way. So yeah, all those ghost cities to nowhere, they don't work. Okay. All right. Let's go next. We don't have to talk about this too much, but yeah, Hunter Biden partner says payments from China were delayed until Joe Biden left office. And those were only for tax purposes. Okay, I'm sure. All right. So lots of headlines here. Let me briefly highlight the key ones that I want to talk about. Disease X is the big one I'm trying to watch for. Let me highlight this here. Text
Yeah,
color.
it doesn't seem it's pretty serious, but we haven't heard much about it over here.
Yeah. So again, is this a red herring with China in 2019 showing us videos of people dropping dead all across the board? I mean, falling on their face. It's not quite that level, but it is of a concern. So we're also seeing a tightening of not just capital, but of people. So trying to watch out for this as well. Let's see. The key thing I want to mention was also the default rate. There was another, it's like another like 500,000 people that got added. I can't even follow all these. But yeah, last we talked, it was about 8.2 million people who are on the Chinese blacklist. So there's many reasons to be blacklisted, but the main one is debt. So looks like even my old figure is incorrect. So it looks like it is 8.52 million. Let me see. 8.54 million individuals have been blacklisted. And once you get blacklisted, it's a no-fly list. You can't even buy high-speed train. You can't even use WeChat for virtual payments or Alipay or anything. You can't open up new bank accounts, and effectively, your life is over, and you have to use proxies and all kinds of complications and workarounds to not be affected by this, I guess, personal sanction of your financial life. So most of these folks have come from they're related to the mortgage protest where they buy a pre-sale built apartment or house, and the developers run away with the money, and you don't even get a completed building. So that's the majority of these folks. And a new cohort of this 8.54 million is from the auto sector, which is the same idea. They prepay for the car, the dealership shuts down, and you're stuck with a car loan and no car. And there's no courts to get justice because the courts are also tied with the local government who gets a significant payoff via the land sale tax, which is again like 50% and whatnot. So yeah, let me pull that up for Dave's benefit. Land sale tax. So yeah, so this system basically forces China to be in a continuous and endless real estate debt cycle. And that's why there's ghost cities, because the government gets paid for building these things. And if no one cares to make sure that the building gets finished, then the courts and the police and the developers look the other way. And it's the residents that get milked. And they don't really care that this happens. So yeah, it's really sad. Let's find the tax. Um, this doesn't say it outright, but yeah. But yeah, that's generally the process. I had better slides or in like one of the like we started talking about this like I think last year, but yeah. Okay. Where are we? Oh, let's jump back to our notes. But yeah, other than that, Evergrande is still having its liquidation problems, courtesy of a Hong Kong court, and we'll see more of that to come for sure in the future. But yeah, we're way over time. We gotta get earnings reports. CBOE will report today on all fees that FLOB paid them. So yeah, we can call it here. Let me stop the recording. My apologies for running over time. Way too much news. And let me export our notes here and reshare the link in case you didn't get this. And thank you guys, meanwhile, for hanging out with me. And I'll upload the recording and all the good stuff here. And let me get the share link. Questions, comments? Let's jump back to the market. Where are we? All right. Oh, wow. So green in the last hour. Okay, amazing. Oh, I haven't looked at my charts in a while. Okay, cool. Let me stop recording.